Got a tattoo here at Lucky 13, Friday 13, so they did $20 tattoos. I think I was 17 when I got my first one.
I decided to get an arrow. I just thought it was really cool. I liked it. I'm 19. This is my first tattoo. I don't know. I'm part Native American, so I don't know, maybe the arrow kind of goes back to that, I guess. So
it's the coolest one on the sheet. It's also kind of like the skins, you know, Redskins. I'm a Skins fan, so.
Well, I'm getting an arrow. On the sheet, there's like an arrow and it has 13 in it. If you're going to go forward, you need to go back a little bit. And like the bow and arrow, you got to go back a little before you go forward. So it's like shooting forward. So, yeah.
I got the tattoo. It was my husband's name. I'm now divorced, and there's no need to hold on to it.
I'm Sharon Blondo. I'm a registered nurse, and I've been doing laser tattoo removal for about 5.5 years. Usually I see probably 25 to 50 people a week, depending on the demand.
The original one I got back in, we'll call it 1993 or 1994. It was in the mid-90s. Tattoos were pretty mainstream and popular. The Mid-Atlantic Tattoo Convention came to Charlottesville. It was like a tribal yin and yang symbol, where there were like two Thunderbird heads.
I have 3 that were mistakes. The first one I got when I was 19. It is a Chinese word for love.
My first tattoo I ever got was this one right here. And I loved dolphins back then. I don't really necessarily anymore at all. So that was 1995. I was 18 years old.
The tattoo that Charles is working on is dragon armor. It's also a cover-up. I had a smaller dragon, just a black tribal-looking dragon from when I was 18, and also the Chinese symbol of long life, kind of like going through that.
And the second one I did on my wrist, it was supposed to be a tribal infinity sign, and it was very thin line. He made it look kind of feathery. And for some stupid reason, I thought that it looked, well, this is pretty cool. And then after I looked at it again, I thought it looks really stupid.
Nowadays, now with the internet and such, you've got infinity symbols and feathers busting into birds. People get all sorts of craziness on them.
The majority of my clients are females that are over 25, say between 25 and 50. That got a tattoo under the age of 25. The tattoo's been on them about 10 years. That's kind of my classic client.
When a group of us went together to the tattoo convention, and it was very exciting. They were having tattoo contests, and just the enthusiasm around the art form was high, and everybody was excited.
I just really wanted to get some tattoo work. I just went in and it's like, this is what I want. This is how much money I have. He's like, all right, let's do it.
It was really exciting for them to get a tattoo when they were like 18. It was kind of coming out, a show of independence and autonomy to get a tattoo early. But then after, 8, 10, 12 years, the idea doesn't mean so much to them anymore.
Never get a tattoo when you're 18 years old. I think they should always... people should always wait until they're 21, at least.
I mean, well, okay, I wouldn't say don't do it. If it's something related to family or something like that, matching with your brother, like y'all got a, whatever, coat of arms, something cool like that, a memoriam of someone, definitely, because you'll never regret that. But if you're into Disney or something like whatever, don't do it. Wait till you know the meaning of stuff like that.
I've seen like cartoons and that sort of thing. Taz a couple of times. Mm-hmm. What's that turtle's name in Nemo? My Little Pony. Some girl came in with a My Little Pony thing she wanted off. Different cartoon themes for sure.
My life number is 44. So I got 44 tattooed on me, and it's misspelled. 40 does not have a U in it. So that really sucked, but the funny part is everybody always says, what, was your tattoo artist just retarded or whatever, that's illiterate, I mean. And I said, well, the truth is I typed it up. I don't even try to tell people that I didn't do it because I did it.
I'm John and I'm 19. So when I was 18, I got this, which is a 45 adapter for a record player, but it kind of looks like a circle of penises. So I kind of regret it, but not really because I like it. But yeah.
I'd say the most interesting one I've done as of late would be Let's Get Weird on a butt cheek. Full butt cheek. Let's Get Weird, all different types of lettering.
I was engaged, and my ex and I decided to get each other's initials tattooed. Tribal initials, so it's not as obvious. It's just a horrible, horrible reminder of an awful relationship.
This one's actually my most recent, and it's a matching tattoo. It says, "Love that is not madness is not love." I got it matching with a girl. My current girlfriend didn't know about it. I've been hiding it for like 3 months. And she found out because this girl sent the picture to her and literally kicked me out. Like, I had to live in my car for about a month. Like, well, car and with friends. So this one had the most impact for sure.
It's everything from 18-year-old preppy kids to 87-year-old, badass ladies. I mean, it's a huge variety of people that get tattooed.
All the tattoos were sort of me trying to build symbolic identity for myself, a sense of who I was. So I was an artist, painter, and I felt like maybe take an image from another painter. I found this image that had several small images, with the central image that you just looked at was a voodoo doll wrapped in newspaper media events. So it's kind of like the media oppressing society. And I thought at the time that was deep and meaningful.
I just really liked the idea of being able to give yourself a tattoo whenever you wanted. So I just, like, one night, whether I was sober or not is up to, I just decided to do a few dots here along my arm, and I guess I had a plan for them, but I never did anything with them or nothing really besides that. I don't know. Probably just gonna leave them as they are.
I got that like the first week we came to school, and that's definitely the longest one I thought about or wanted for the longest. And then it's just my family's initials, my brothers and my parents, just in a line, oldest to youngest.
I do a lot of dots. The kids will get the 3 dots on their, I think it means my crazy life or something. I don't know.
One thing that I found is, for me at least, and I've talked to other people about this, so I think it's out there, but is that tattoos don't have transcendence.
Initially, when I was a teenager, I wanted to get a Grateful Dead tattoo. And I thought, as a young teenager, that was pretty original.
Like me at 18, 19, 20 years old when I got most of my tattoos, and I could never anticipate the kind of changes that would occur internally and how radical they would be, such that I would find myself no longer wanting a tattoo.
Thankfully, by the time I turned 18, I had moved away from that. I'm glad I didn't.
I am a recovering person from alcohol abuse. As I got out of my 20s into my 30s, kind of slowly transitioned to, it was more of not that I didn't necessarily want it any longer, it's just like I didn't know why I had that particular tattoo and that it had no meaning to me.
I found that my arrogance to think that when I got to the age that I'm at now, my arrogance as a 19, 20-year-old is I thought I knew something about myself, that I'd always be forgiving, always be patient with myself in understanding of the choices that I made. So I would project a sentiment into the future and say, the future me will always be forgiving of my decisions. And what ended up being the case is I was wrong, radically wrong. Even art galleries rotate their collection.
While I appreciate and understand where I was at the time of getting that work, I've collected a lot of better art and artists.
The older you get, I found that the older that people are when they get their tattoos, they tend to keep them. They don't want them removed, but they are older and mature, and the tattoos typically mean something to them.
I am 37 years old. Although I liked the symbols, I think if I had waited and found better artists and thought it through a little bit more, I could have gotten much nicer pieces than what I initially got.
Eventually, yeah, maybe a sunflower or I'm not exactly sure yet, but I will eventually want another one.
Out of pain.